Okay, we are on my floor because I don't want to pick up this box. It's heavy, it's stupid, it's old, it's falling apart, it's dilapidated. I'm pretty sure I can only move it like one more time before it dies, and there's a stupid fly. Okay. So I should probably backtrack and kind of explain things a little bit. So in a bit, I'm gonna be a little vulnerable with you guys and show you my dining room and how chaotic and messy it is, and how I don't like it. I have a bunch of plants growing right along the windowsill, but the setup I have now is just, I don't like it. It's too chaotic for me. So I've been wanting to make those little tile planters that I see all over the internet. No, it's not like the perfect solution and the solution I want. There's a stupid fly. It's not the perfect solution I want, but it's because I would love to have like more like the little. When I lived on the West Coast, I had these cute little mugs. I should probably insert a picture of it. These cute little mugs that I scraped off the design and then made little cute jack-o'-lantern pictures. I loved those planters. I wish I didn't get rid of them when we moved across country. That was really dumb of me. And I wish I could find those and get a bunch more of those. But this is my temporary solution, which I still think will actually end up being pretty cute and pretty wonderful. But it's like I said, I want to make those little tile planters that you see all over online. So I've been looking on Facebook Marketplace for a while now for tiles. And these ended up being free. One day some guy put this whole box and then some, because there was like this stack off to the side that was saran wrapped together. He was selling them for free, giving away them for free. They're not the color I was going for, but they're not a color I'm disappointed in. They are this light baby blue, sky blue color. I mean, they're a gorgeous color. I love the color. I was hoping to go more with like a white or a gray, but I'll take blue. So there's enough of these. Oh, and these tiles have like this round beveled edge. So this one side is rounded beveled, which actually might end up being kind of a benefit down the road. I don't know. But when assembling, they'll be kind of a benefit down the road. So, but anyway, what you're gonna do is I'm gonna get 4 of these, put them on all the sides, and then take one and put them on the bottom. So it will have that little bit of a lip and an edge. I'm not too happy about that, but it is what it is. And I think this will be a better solution and look cuter than what I already have. So if I counted correctly, I separated them into groups of 5 because it's going to take 5 tiles to make this project, to make one planter, because you're going to have 4 sides and 1 on the bottom, so they're going to take 5 tiles. So I separated them in groups of 5, putting a little piece of paper in between each one. And my game plan is to put a cute little design on one side, glue them all together, or super glue them all together, then caulk them all together so they're waterproof, and then put little planters inside. Like I said, I separate them in group of 5. There should, if I counted correctly, there should be 23. I should be able to get 23 planters out of this. That's how many tiles I got. It's enough to make 23 planters, which should be enough for the windowsills. If not, at least I have them some. Something's better than nothing, right? So let me hurry and insert a clip here of showing you my windowsill in the kitchen, or dining room. It's technically the dining room. Let me insert that clip in. Okay, this is what I'm talking about, my dining room. I have these plants, and they're all just on little teacup plates, and they go and cover all my window sills here in my dining room. And then I have like this bucket filled with more plants because I don't have enough room for all of them. But see, there's just some plants that are in cups, there's some plants that are in little planters, and some of them are on these little teacup plates, and some are in bowls. It's just a disorganized, chaotic mess, and I don't like it. I'm tired of it. See, like even this one's in like a little tin can. And I'm done with this. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of the mess of my windowsills and how disorganized it looks like. And I want to make it look pretty and wonderful. So that is why I'm making these planters. So what I did first is I found all the broken tiles. There was quite a few of them. See, there was 5 broken tiles. I separated them off because I figured they would be my tester tiles. And boy, did I test and test and test. So I don't know how I'm gonna do this. So I took one tile and I drew all over it. See, there's tons and tons of little designs all over it. And I used these painter markers, the Elmer's painter markers. I have these. I use them for the little planters I talked about before, the little pumpkin planters. I've used them also with craft projects with the kids of getting mugs from the dollar store, the little coffee mugs from the dollar store, and letting the kids color all over them, and then you bake these. That's what you do, is you color on ceramic things with them, and then you bake them in the oven you put them in the oven when the oven's cold, and then you turn on the oven, bake them at 375, I believe, or like 350 for like an hour, and then you turn off the oven and let them cool with the ceramic in them. You do not want to put the ceramic in there when it's hot or pull them out when they're hot. They will crack. But I think that's what the instructions is. Either way, you can look them up online. I know I just did this and I can't remember what the instructions were, but I looked them up. Anyway, it's Elmer's Painters markers. I've used these before. Some of my markers here in this bag are dried out because I've owned these markers for so long. They come in a medium tip, a fine tip. Actually, that's the fine tip, an extremely fine tip. They have all these different tip types. So that's what I did, is I tested out my markers and baked them, and they seemed to work fine. So then I moved on to, some of the colors I wanted were dried out. So I tested out some fingernail polish because I have a bunch of dollar store fingernail polish that comes in more colors than the markers are. And so I tested out those. And then brown Sharpie. I had some my brown fine tip Sharpie, and I tried putting them on this tile, and then once again following the same baking instruction. That actually, good to know, ended up changing the color of the fingernail polish. So don't bake the fingernail polish. And anyway, I tried testing with the permanent marker, seeing if I could wipe off the permanent marker after baking it too, because I had an idea. And this is where things went downhill fast. See, this is my another testing one. Had a yellow that wasn't working and it kind of exploded everywhere. I tried out trying to make designs with the fingernail polish. Tried painting designs with the fingernail polish. Yeah, even more, because these are all fingernail polish too. All these white designs here are fingernail polish. So I tested with those. Then I was like, okay, what I'm going to do is I am going to take my tile here, get my permanent marker, and that way I can draw a design on my tile, and then I could take my marker and make as many mistakes as I want, because I can take rubbing alcohol and wipe off the permanent marker. In case anybody wants to know, rubbing alcohol is really great at getting permanent marker off of things. Anyway, so So anyway, I can make my mistakes, as many mistakes as I want, draw whatever I want, and it would be easier to remove with the permanent marker than with these. These are kind of hard to work with. They tend to have, sometimes they're super liquidy, sometimes they go a little thinner, a little thicker. Sometimes it takes a minute for the ink to come out, like right now. Okay, we won't be using that one then. That one's ink doesn't want to come out right now. These do have a bit of a learning curve with them. So I figured if I do the permanent marker, it's not going to change a lot. Oh my gosh. That just dripped on my dress. Hopefully I can save my dress. Fudgesicle. Oh, I hope I can get that out of my dress. I'm not even sure how to get that out of my dress. Anyway, I can draw with the permanent marker. Then I can color over the top of it with this marker, bake it, and then hopefully remove the permanent marker. That was the game plan, at least. That was what this test was and this test was, is I colored with a permanent marker and then colored over the top of it with those painter markers that totally just dripped on my dress, and I'm still freaking out about that. Anyway, so that's what I did, is I did the permanent marker, drew over the top of it, baked it. And then I went and got my rubbing alcohol, and I went to go, that one's actually, you can see better with it. I went to go wipe off the permanent marker, and it removed the Elmer's paint. And I was like, what the heck? That's not supposed to do. Once you bake it, it's supposed to be like part of the tile. On the tile, be part of the tile, be one with the tile. But it was wiping off with the permanent marker. So I started doing other tests of putting the permanent marker on. This is with the pen. This is with pen with some fingernail polish. So I started testing with the fingernail polish over the permanent marker. And once again, I didn't bake them this time. Actually, this one I did bake, and then later on I didn't bake it once I put the fingernail polish on. But the fingernail polish, once you put the permanent marker on, the fingernail polish covers up the permanent marker for the most part, and then it didn't absorb. Like the markers started, the white on the markers, as you can see, absorbed some of the permanent marker color, whereas the white fingernail polish did not do that as much. And then once again, like once I put the fingernail polish on, I could rub with rubbing alcohol or isopropyl alcohol, as everybody calls it. I call it rubbing alcohol. When do we all start calling it isopropyl alcohol? Anyway, I could rub with the rubbing alcohol and get the rest of the permanent marker off, but then the fingernail polish stays on. So as long as I don't bake it, I don't think the fingernail polish will change colors. But I don't have plans on baking it because I only baked it for this. So that's my game plan now, is I'm going to go through all these tiles, and I'm going to take 4 tiles for each one, and I'm going to draw a design with permanent marker. And then I'm going to go over that with fingernail polish and a really fine paintbrush and paint over that with fingernail polish. Then rub it off with rub off the permanent marker with rubbing alcohol, or isopropyl alcohol, as everybody calls it nowadays. And then I think after that, I'm going to get adult supervision, aka my husband's help, because I'm not allowed to use super glue by myself, and super glue the sides together. And then after that, I will caulk them on the inside so that they're waterproof. So I guess let me go draw a bunch of designs and paint a bunch of designs on these. Okay, for all of you who are curious about my dress, as soon as I got done filming that clip, I immediately washed the stain
in cold water. I just rinsed it in cold water. And then after that, I blotted it / rubbed it with rubbing alcohol. And this is what it looks like now. Not bad. It's really lighter than it was when I first got it, but it's still quite noticeable, at least to me. So like even if I go all the way back, it's still pretty noticeable, at least to me. But husband had a great idea. He says I have the marker in white, might as well try filling it in with white and see what it happens. So that's what we're gonna do. I have the marker, and let's color it in with white. I already got a little bit on there. Oh, it's focusing on me, not on coloring. I'm gonna color this and come back. Okay, actually that looks better in camera than on person. So I have colored it in with white. Yeah, you can't really kind of tell the difference. It looks like that might actually fade a bit. But to me, in real life, that is a stark white. And this is like a gray white. So, I mean, yeah, maybe that's less noticeable than what was before. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to let that dry. And then try like rinsing it out and see if I can get it to be a lighter white or not as starch of a white. And then we can fix the problem. I mean, you can still kind of see, you can't even see it, but I can see it. There's like still a blue spot there. There's the white. So, I don't know. Maybe I'll let it dry, rinse it out, see if I can get it to not be such a noticeable white. But, yeah, it might work. So here's all the tiles laid out. I still have them grouped in groups of 5. I have been drawing on them. I have like this section here that I want it to be like flowers. Actually, yeah, flowers. I have hearts, some moons, stars, clouds. I'm thinking about making a couple of skull ones. And then I have miscellaneous ones up there that I don't know what to do yet. Okay, but kind of thought I'd give you an idea. I've got one flower one, some variety of things. I have a variety of things that I'm testing out. I have one that I just got mad and quit. But anyway, so I'm drawing with the Sharpie permanent marker and then going through with, give me a second. Going through and cleaning up my mistakes with a Q-tip and rubbing alcohol. See, my isotrope. Or with a napkin that's all folded up. And I've been cleaning up my mistakes. And then once I traced my first one, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to copy this onto 4 more tiles. Sorry, you can see my windows. I hope you don't mind that. Anyway, and I kind of was like, I don't want to copy this same design over and over and over again and try to make it exactly the same over and over and over again on 4 more sets of tiles. So I came up with an ingenious idea and it actually worked. I got some tissue paper. This is like that same tissue paper I make patterns with or you buy and you put in presents and packages. I just put that. And you can see the design when you lay it over the top. You could totally see your drawing. And then I drew over it with permanent marker. And then I lay it on top of the next tile and draw over it. And it kind of gives you like this. It doesn't bleed through all the way, but it bleeds through enough. Permanent marker, it bleeds through everything. It bleeds through enough that you can see what the design is. And then you just copy and copy. And that way the design is more uniform. I like it because now the design is more uniform and it's very similar to the first original. So I've only done this one. I need to do this one. I started it, as you can see, but I need to go through and copy through. I think I like this one enough. I want to do that. I really do like that one and this one's idea. So I need to go through and copy those ones. But it's an ingenious idea. It just copies everything over. I love it. So this is how I'm assembling them. And I will probably assemble one of these loose tiles first and then show you these ones over here. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more that I need to paint, but you know, it is what it is. At least I have designs on them and they're partially painted. So let's get started on doing this one. So there's 5 loose tiles. This one is the blank one, which will be the bottom. And then I have the 4 sides. So let me move this one closer to me. So how I do this is I normally grab them and go, okay, this is the bottom. And I want all the bottoms touching each other, making a nice, beautiful square. And then this is kind of where it's having the bevel side, the little curved bezel side. Because then I know this side that's flat, I'm gonna glue. So I'm gonna glue the flat side on all 4 of these, and then I'm gonna kind of lean them against each other. Then I'm gonna grab my rubber bands here and put 3 rubber bands. Move this one. One at the bottom, one in the middle, one at the top, and then I'll try to make them as square as I can, and then put the top on the bottom on, but I'm gonna put it on the top and try to make sure that it's even more square, as square as I can get it, using that bottom piece, which will be a top piece. So I'm also using the E6000 instead of like super glue. I meant I was using E6000. So I guess let me just assemble it and you can see. Double check that is the bottom. Yes, I know I'm supposed to have adult supervision, but my husband's trusting me to film and show you guys that I can use E6000 on my own responsibly. Because we all know I'm not responsible. Alright, so I glued all the sides of those ones. Probably not all in the shot, but whatever. Okay. Got the lid on. Now we just flip them upwards. And I'm not really too, let's do this side first. I'm really not too particular right now about how pretty the sides are lining up. I'm more just want them to stay leaning against each other like this. So I can put the rubber band on. Yeah, I almost got E6000 on my finger. And this is why I cannot use E6000 responsibly. Man, my husband made that look so much easier. Okay. Move that towards the bottom. Okay. 2 more rubber bands. And as you notice, the rubber bands kind of help pop everything into place. But I like to go through and just double check. Okay. Pardon me, guys, you were in my way. So as you can see, as you move it, that won't be square. That's the price you pay. There's a good nap. Anyway, so as I showed you, we move it and it's not a square. But if you kind of make it square and then make them flat, make sure they're all level too. You can put the bottom on, or the top. In this case, it'll be a top, and later on it'll be a bottom. And we can make sure that it's square from there. That's how you get to this. You go from these flat tiles to looking like this. This bottom is still not glued on. Same with this one. All the pieces are right side up and the bottoms are not glued on. I know other people are doing them all in one step and gluing the bottom on. And you can totally glue the bottom on right now and do that. I don't, because that's a lot of work, because I gotta make sure all the pieces are upside down and not right side up. My little cohesive brain can't figure that out. Plus, I just like to take the extra step. I also like to weigh them down with the bricks just so that I know all sides are getting weighed down, getting equal pressure. I'm worried about doing that with this and then like the rubber band's not holding. I know the rubber bands will hold. I know physics wise all the corners will be fine, but I just have security issues. Anyway, so after 24 to 48 hours, we'll get to this stage where the E6000 has dried and I feel comfortable. I will flip it upside down so that the bottom is now on the top and the top is on the bottom. And I'm going to glue just on the inner half. So glue the bottom corners, not the corners, the bottom edges. I'm going to glue all those. And yes, so like I said, I'm going to glue all the edges and then I'm going to put this on and make sure it's even on all the spaces and then move a brick on top of it so it can be weighed down and pushed down and make sure that glue is gluing. So I'm going to do that and show you what that looks like. Also, I want to note that some of these bottoms have two sides bevels. They're like a corner one. I did get like 10 of these ones and I have been just using them as the bottom. And now I have the bottom where I want it, and I'm just going to transfer the brick from that one to this one, because the brick's been on it for a few days. And now I can look at this one and be like, yep, it is now complete, and that is one planter, and I can now take the rubber bands off. That's pretty much how I assembled these and get them the way I want them.
So I thought I would film this outro / my thoughts and feelings here in my dining room where my planters are at, or most of my planters are at, I should say. Also, I want to apologize if I'm really backlit. We've had like a month long of rain, even to the point of we've had some flooding in some areas. And of course, I postponed this till the last second, and now it's sunny outside, and it's the sunniest day it's been for like the past month. So I apologize for all the sun in the background, and I might be backlit. Anyway, and I say I have most of these planters done because I told you guys that I can make 25. I don't have 25 planters. I actually didn't finish all of them on time. The painting took way longer than I thought it would. Coming up with designs went pretty quickly, and then tracing them went even faster. I was like, boom, boom, boom. That went really, really quick. Painting took a little bit, and that just took way longer than I thought it would. So I didn't finish this project quite on time. I think I have 6 more planters left to paint, or they're in some process of being painted. Some of them have like a little bit, some have none, some are almost done. But anyway, I have 6 more planters I need to paint, and then I have to have my husband assemble them, and then they will be done. Anyway, so my thoughts and feelings. My thoughts and feelings are they turned out okay. I mean, they're not exactly, they look exactly what I thought they would look like, which is a cute little design, the cute little tile planter. Is it exactly what I wanted? No. I would like to have my mugs back, maybe in different colors because I'm falling in love with this blue more and more. But I would like to have my mugs back, and I don't have my mugs. Anyways, I also don't really like exactly how uniform they are. Uniform, yeah, that's the word. Uniform they are. This whole straight line where it's like perfectly squares, perfect height and everything actually kind of drives me a little insane. I thought I would like it, but I don't. I think that's what I liked about my mugs is they were round in a square window or a rectangle window. And it kind of was like, oh, hey, here's this offset of a round versus a square. Whereas a square with a square and a perfect line of squares in a square, it's kind of driving me crazy. I don't like it as much as I thought I would. But the planters came out cute. I really like how hefty they are so they don't accidentally fall over. I am worried about the colors changing from the heat of the sun during the summertime, which is why I didn't do very many colors. I only did the black, the white, and a little bit of red. I also like how it stuck with that color theme, but now I'm kind of not liking the color theme because once again, that's a little too uniform. But whatever, it is what it is now. I did want to tell you guys that I went to Lowe's and I got a bunch of these square, I think they're 4-inch in diameter planters. And that's what I transplanted all my plants in, and they fit really well in these planters. I do have some bigger, I think they're like 5-inch or 6-inch planters that I also got at the home improvement store. They don't fit in the planters, which kind of sucks because I've already planted plants in them and they've been planted in them for a while. But it's just that little upper lip doesn't fit on the top of this. I bet if I squished it, I could get it down in, but I'm afraid of cracking the planter. And maybe them sitting on top will help with the uniformity and help break up the monotony of things. So, but they are cute. I love the cute designs. I love the designs. I love these as an individual. I don't love them all lined up. So I think I'm gonna have to come up with something. Because I like over here where it's some of these and then some of the planters. So I think maybe that's what I'll do is get different tiles. Maybe having like different size tiles and making more with different size tiles. Or like finding the mugs and changing it all up will help with the monotony of the creepy straight line. Maybe that's an idea. Now I just thought of it as I'm talking to you guys. I did want to show you my tissue paper of designs. Some of these designs, like this one, didn't quite make it into the final, but some of them did. Some of them you probably recognize. Once again, like this one didn't make it. These ones I have done, they just haven't been painted. But some of these you might recognize. So I just thought these were really, really cool. I want to keep these. I just don't know what I'm going to do with them and where to put them or what to do with them. But they look really, really cool with all my designs on like a couple of sheets of these. I don't know. I just thought they looked cool. Also, why I'm kind of like meh about filming this outro is I am pretty much done painting all these planters and assembling them. I only have 6 more left. And now that I'm almost done, I'm having one of those moments of, oh, I could have made this project easier, you know, like I had with my Snow White dress of, oh, now that I've gotten done doing a whole entire project, I realized I could have made this easier. Actually, I didn't realize. The universe gifted me a, hey, you could have made this easier. As you probably noticed here in this corner, let me kind of move things so you can see it better. I was gifted a circuit machine, literally towards the end of this project. I only have 6 more planches left. I think I had only like 9 more left or 10 more left at that time frame. I was a little over halfway done. And I was gifted a circuit machine. Yes, I know it probably wouldn't have made anything like a whole lot easier because I would still have to know how to use the software. I would still have to learn how to make my own unique designs in the software. I still have to learn how to print on the printer thingy machine. Print in color in the machine because apparently this one does color. I also hear this is the worst out of all the circuit machines ever to be created. I hear that I have been gifted the worst one. But anyway, I still would have to learn how to print on it, print and color in it, and then transfer the circuit design onto the tiles and then assemble the tiles. So I don't think it really would have made the process any easier. It still probably would have taken just as long, but it's just one of those moments of I could have done it differently. I could have, if I knew how to make a circuit designs, print them out, slap them on, would have gone through so much faster, so much easier. But it is what it is. I did have fun painting them. A nice several days, several weeks of painting and relaxed painting and listening to a podcast while I paint, but I'm kind of a little right now frustrated that I was just gifted this towards the end and I don't want to finish this project now because I'm mad. But anyway, thank you guys for watching and don't forget to hit the thumbs up if you like this video and like and comment and subscribe and hit the little bell notification and all that fun jazz. Those really do help out the channel and thank you for watching and subscribing and all that. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Thanks. Bye.